let's get into it. Thoughts on the NFL trade deadline?
Yeah, I think like everybody else, a little taken aback by what the Jets did, and I don't hate it for them, but like I think it was that was the one thing that made it different than every other trade deadline. Other than that, it was pretty normal. But that's obviously like a how is the play otherwise, Miss Lincoln type of comment to make.
Right.
After the Jets trade two players, the level of those two guys, and I think in both cases it was like a realization by that organization we're not as close as we thought we were, so we need to give ourselves some more resources to work with, and if we're going to have a shot to get a quarterback over the next few years, we want to load up on picks. Maybe the most interesting thing to me was that they asked the Cowboys for a pick in 2 years, not next year. So
Because the 2027 draft is
Right.
supposed to be real
Yeah.
good. They want that kid from your school.
Well,
All right.
or I mean, there's a number, and there are going to be quarterbacks in that class too. It looks like we don't know, but it looks like there could be quarterbacks.
The quarterbacks, it's like Arch Manning, and then the kid
Dylan Raiola?
and yeah, it's,
Dominic Raiola
The
is
last couple
yeah,
of years
not-
though, when that
not. We'll see how that
Mahomes,
pans out. Yeah,
Mahomes.
we'll
Yeah.
see how
Long
that
way to
pans
go
out.
between now and
But-
then.
but-
You've
But
seen his
just
Mahomes stuff, right?
real quick on the quarterbacks thing, are they still so convinced? You can only go off what you know and what you think,
Yeah.
and I get that. But you go back to the Mac Jones quarterback class, which is like there's so many here, and they're all going to be so awesome. You can't go wrong. And then there are years where, say, when Drake May was selected, it was like, oh, that's it's supposed to be kind of an off year, but
No, that was supposed to be a really good year.
That was
Okay.
supposed to be an excellent year.
okay,
yeah.
that was supposed to be a good year. But
Yeah,
my
I would
point,
say
my
the best
point,
example is the Mahomes-Watson year was supposed to be an off year, and then it's Mahomes and Watson.
yeah, but you don't even have to go back that far. They get it wrong.
sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes. So is there still that firm belief that teams hold on to, like when you say, they really wanted one for 2 years from now because
No, well, they
if you
wanted-
need a quarterback,
so,
isn't
yeah.
isn't the immediacy? Doesn't that
I
trump
thought-
what you think of the incoming
So-
or outgoing class?
When I talked to them, it was a couple things, right? Like I don't think it's not just the quarterbacks. It was this coming draft. They don't feel like most NFL teams don't feel like the talent at the top of this next draft is very good, right? Like so, it's like last year. Like last year, we talked about that until we were blue in the face about how that wasn't a great draft at the top.
Right.
A lot of NFL personnel people think the same thing about the 26 class. The 26 class isn't great in the top. The 27 class, quarterbacks aside, is going to be probably incredible because you've got a bunch of guys, and it's not just Jeremiah Smith. There's 7 or 8 guys that are legit stars that have been playing since they were true freshmen. It's Colin Simmons at Texas. It's Dylan Stewart at South Carolina. It's Ryan Williams at Alabama. It's Leonard Moore at Notre Dame. There's these guys that have already got a ton of track record, and they still have a year and a half left in college. On top of that, and I thought this was maybe the most interesting part of it. So when I was talking to the Jets people about why they asked for the 27 pick, that was part of it. But another part of it was they felt like this would give them more runway, and that instead of having 6 months to figure out what to do with that pick, they'd have 18 months. So they could use that pick if they wanted to go get a quarterback this offseason, but they're not forced into that box where it's we got to fix it this offseason or else.
Well, you control 2 drafts.
You control, yeah. So you can either you have 2 first-round picks this year. So
And
you've
2
got
seconds.
you've got enough to go get a quarterback this year if you want. Or in 2 years, if you don't like the veteran market, you don't like the rookies that are available to you, you can turn around in 2 years and do it. So it gives you a lot more flexibility, which, I mean, that does put some trust in Woody's hands that he's going to be patient with you,
Well,
and that can be
for him signing off on it. You have to assume that he's going to be patient.
I mean, you just have to that's the thing. A couple ex-Jets people texted me in the aftermath of this and said, "God, those guys are asking for a lot of patience from an impatient person."
No, there's no question he's an idiot. All right, but so just from we know why the Jets did it. I'm interested in the Indianapolis. It means a lot to the Patriots. So,
Sure.
what was Indianapolis's thinking? I know that this when they get healthy, it's at corner. This makes them very effective. But let's start with this. Why Sauce Gardner? Why did they find him particularly so valuable?
So this started with really the week of Columbus Day. Do you guys hear about like the accident that happened pregame in the Colts Cardinals game where Charvarius Ward, who was their big money corner they signed in the offseason, hit heads with Alec Ogletree, one of their tight ends, and
that was the same game that Richardson, while doing a band exercise, blinded himself.
Oh yeah, that I remember.
They had 2 catastrophes before the game. That same game, they had 2 catastrophes.
Out of a bad sitcom.
So when Ward got hurt, they started calling around, and the Jets basically informed them, like, everyone on defense, well, listen, we're not shopping them, but everybody on defense.
Garrett Wilson's the only untouchable.
So, basically, then it was, okay, so you listen on Sauce Gardner. And that's where the discussion began. And really, I'll give the Colts owner, Jim's daughter, I'll give her credit, in that, when the GM and the front office people went and talked to her about this, because they kept a very small circle on it, they asked her, what she thought, and she said, well, would you rather Band-Aid the problem or fix the problem? And they felt like Sauce would fix the problem. The other part of it, that's interesting is they had Gus Bradley as their defensive coordinator the last few years before this year, and that's the old Seattle defense. So corners aren't as valuable in that defense. They bring in Lou Anarumo from Cincinnati, and now corners are hyper important in that defense. So now they look at it as it's a weakness right now because Ward's still out. But when Ward comes back and Sauce comes in, now they're instantly turning what was a weakness into a strength.
They like Sauce that much?
And they think, yeah. And they have – so there are a couple of weird connections. Their special teams coach was with Sauce at the University of Cincinnati. Alec Pierce, their receiver, played with Sauce at Cincinnati. So they had, good background on him too, which is an important piece of it.
Is he – and again, I'm asking this because Indianapolis is neck and neck with the Patriots. Is Sauce Gardner universally in the league considered an elite corner?
He can't. There's 2 good years, 1 bad year.
What version is this year?
Well, 2 years, 1.5 not great years.
Yeah, I mean, he's been fine this year, I think.
Yeah, he's been better than last year.
He's been fine.
He's not protecting himself like last year.
Not, so he's been fine this year.
Well, he got his contract.
Well, he got his contract, so he's not protect. He was actively protecting himself last year.
Right.
I mean, I could see it.
I think the thought is that he's going to come in and be really good. Now, I would say the other part of it is he was a really good fit for Saleh's defense. And so is he going to be as good a fit for Anarumo's defense? That's an open question, but...
And it's obvious Glenn wasn't enamored with him.
Right. And I think that's part of it, too, is
Glenn was, just real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt you, keep interrupting you, Bert, but Glenn was a defensive back. Glenn's a defensive coach. That's just to me.
If you're willing to move away, if Aaron Glenn is willing to move away from a corner, then there's fair questions to ask.
And Aaron Glenn was like an elite corner.
Yeah.
I mean, and so, this isn't Darrelle Revis. I'll just say Revis. I'll just say that.
Right. So, I mean, I think for the Colts, so the way you want to look at this, I looked at the Jimmy Johnson trade chart, which is interesting context for all this. So Sauce was the 4th pick in the draft. The value of the 4th pick of the draft is the same as having the 18th pick twice. So if the Colts figure, all right, to get that kind of corner, you got to be drafting really high. And we're good enough now where we're going to be in the 20s, then our picks are going to be the 2 picks combined are going to be less valuable than what it costs the Jets to get Sauce. Now you got to take the finances into it too, which are part of it. But the contract is reasonable. Yeah.
The other part of this is the quarterback Daniel Jones, who I think his
They're
contract
pushing all their chips in.
Well,
John.
that's just it. But here's the thing: Daniel Jones's contract I think is up at the end of this season, right? Are they prepared really to pay the amount of money it's going to take to keep?
They better be. There's no other option.
I know, but I mean,
I would love to
30,
be
40, 50 million, whatever it is.
Daniel Jones' agent's a guy named Brian Murphy, who's a local guy. I would love to be Brian Murphy right now.
Yeah. because they have no other option.
Well, Anthony Richardson, of course.
I mean, honestly, that's the thing is when you take those first round picks away, that's how you would get
no other option.
Right? So If I were them, if I were the Colts, I would go to him now because you don't have a choice.
I would too.
So don't wait till the offseason. Go to him now and try to get something done now. I mean, that said, he's played great. Like, and I think
Do you think he can keep this up over the next 2 or 3 years?
We'll see, but I think there've been enough cases like this now, haven't there?
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. I mean, Sam Darnold's been outstanding in Seattle.
I got money
Now-
on him
Just
for
watched
MVP.
him. Yeah.
Now Sam's done it in two different places. So you can't just say it's Minnesota and Justin Jefferson and Kevin O'Connell and all that anymore. And Baker Mayfield has done it like with three different offensive coordinators in Tampa. So I think you can certainly look at Daniel Jones and reasonably say the Giants failed him. And like this, having this environment around him with a really good offensive head coach, like this is pumped life into his career. And he played well in spots with the Giants too. Like in 22 in Dayball's first year, he was really good. So it's not like we haven't seen it before.
I think you're right though. It's it's still tough to wrap your head around the idea of a late bloomer quarterback, but when you see it a couple of times over, whether it's with Darnold or Baker Mayfield, like okay, it's not necessarily an anomaly
Goff.
anymore. It just happens.
Goff, Geno Smith to a degree,
I mean, Goff wasn't really a late bloomer.
No,
Goff was
I
a
mean-
different case because Goff didn't fail in Los Angeles.
but he
He
wasn't believed to be
Right.
a franchise quarterback.
Right.
He just needed to be with a real capital T team.
Right.
You
And
know?
I actually
Yeah.
think, like, for
a
whatever
team
it's
that
worth,
wins a lot of Super Bowls.
like, I think we're sort of in a golden age for quarterbacks now. Like, I think there are more good quarterbacks in the NFL than maybe there ever have been.
Yeah,
Like, I think that there's, like, more competent quarterbacking. Because, I mean, people, and look, like, I think we all romanticize when we grew up, right? And for all of us in this room, like, for me, it was Marino, Kelly,
Montana.
Elway, Montana. Like, those are the names. And you romanticize those guys. Who was the 12th best quarterback
Right.
then? Was it Eric Kramer? You know what I mean? Like,
It was Ken O'Brien, but we don't have to get into it.
and who's the 12th best quarterback now? You know what I mean? Like, it might be Daniel Jones.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you did top 15 quarterbacks. I mean, I just saw a quarterback ranking that had May 8th, and if May's 8th, that means there's a lot of really good quarterbacks in the top 10.
For the latest from the Sports Hub, download at 985thesportshub.com.